everybody, and welcome back. This week, I know I need to go back to the other drawing, but let's go ahead and keep moving forward on this. Okay. So this is going to be poses for the Astrocats Part 2. So before I forget, don't forget to check out our Facebook right here. We keep adding new stuff. God, I can never get the right view on this, because there we go. So we started adding a couple things. Ichiban. There's some of the stuff right there from the products that we're developing. There's my videos, so please check them out. And then we're currently we're still kind of figuring out what to do with our YouTube page. We finally added an about. So little baby steps, man. Little baby steps. That's all that we could do. We're currently trying to work in a series of like shorts where me, Dave, and Lord Byron, we pretty much just sit down and then we go ahead and we record these shorts. Just to kind of create some side content until we can maybe find a way to create an animation. Animation it's a lot of work, a lot of labor. So right now we're kind of working on our pipeline. So real quick before I forget, always show Stream Beats some love. They kind of keep my webpage not as boring. Otherwise you're just listening to me sketching, which is kind of weird. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do is today, the next episode requires for Hobbes to have more extreme poses. So this was the first pose that we started with, and the only reason normally I would set up a full character rig that will have like the head and the mouth and like everything will be movable, but because I'm working with a crew that they don't have an allocated animator, this is how I have to do this. So let me try to open this real quick. Let me head over here. Freelance. Astrocats. Astrocats comics. Actually, hold on. I have the folder open. I got just files everywhere. I always have files everywhere, guys. So that's Adobe XD. Oh, did I actually flatten my layers? Fuck. Oh no. Okay, I'm still tripping. Don't mind me. So I've done. Now this will be my fourth one. Okay, so that I'm fine. Don't mind me. Okay. So don't say. So the first thing that I need to do is clean this out. So I can clean the entire thing, or I could do part of the whole thing. So just to kind of give you a quick tour of what I have. So right here is the base body. And then for poses, I have different versions of eyes. Now this is an unclean version because I have the line art separated from the base color. And he's got like different eyes depending which one I'm doing. And the same thing goes for the mouth. So the first thing I need to do is, because the next portion is, the character's not going to be facing right, he's going to be facing towards the left. So let me explain what we're trying to do. Let me create a new one. Yeah, that will work. So the way the panel is going to read is that it's going to be... Come on. Brush. There we go. So this is going to be our panel. So you're going to see Goi's chair. I'm not going to give the plot too much, but there's Goi's chair, and then you're going to see Hobbes right here. So meaning he's going to be facing this direction, and then you're finally going to see Scully. Scully's going to be here and going to be facing that direction. So that's pretty much the kind of shot that I'm trying to set up. So at this moment, Hobbes is facing the opposite direction. Can I just try to flip everything? Yes. The problem is the uniform. If I were to just flip everything, it will make absolutely no sense because the uniform wouldn't match. So let me see if I can find a way to... Let me see. Delete, Smart Tool, Animation. Yeah, that's the only thing that I kind of hate about this software versus the other software. Let's see. So it's going to cause some alterations. Not my finest moment, I'm not gonna lie to you. And the problem is I want to make sure that they lined up as best as possible. So now the question is, did it do it for everything? Yeah, amazingly enough, it did it for everything. Okay, so with that, so that saves me a little bit of time. Let me head over here. So here's the main thing that I need to work on. Mainly his uniform top. Okay, so that's just him in a normal standing pose. Alright, while I'm here, let me zoom out. Yep, I gotta make sure. That's the thing about this. When you're moving stuff around, make sure that your stuff is where it needs to be. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, the main thing I need to do right now, other than this, first of all, I need to straighten him out a little bit. Because he's a little crooked. And it's funny, it's not till you inverse stuff that you actually don't see certain things. So in this case, I'm going to inverse him. The main thing that we'll have to change right here is this line art. So this will save me a little bit of time. So actually what I could do is... Remember, nobody cares how you got there. The only thing that they care about is the end product. So always remember that, kids. However, it is important to keep continuity of your design. Okay, so we have that right there. Then let's go ahead and clean that out a little bit. And then let's go ahead and move to the solid pen. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to borrow this color and go back over here. And just like that. Okay, now I have all these poses facing to the right. Okay, so far not too bad. All right, so here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to grab both of these. I'm going to put them in a folder for now. This is going to become my reference. Body. I can't spell body apparently. So I'm going to head over there. Okay, with that, I'm going to go even further and create a folder and nest the folders within the folder. So this is going to make sense here in a second. Okay, this is going to be the primary post that I'm going to use as my reference. This is just for proportion purposes, just so I can kind of keep everything together. So today I'm not going to do a final, but I do want to kind of just work on these key poses that probably be used for like the second episode. So that's pretty much what I want to do today. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go edit, and I'm going to change the canvas size because some of these exposes are going to be a little bit more dramatic. There we go. And then from there, I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to start working on these poses. Now I can use either blue or red. It depends. I sometimes like to work with red, sometimes I like to work with blue. So it just depends on feeling for the day. I've had a pretty long week, so I think I'm going to go with blue for today. Just kind of keep things nice and calm. Give me a second before I forget something. I forgot to text somebody. For the love of Pete. I gotta keep track of so much stuff. Oh yeah, cool beans. All right, so let's go ahead and start looking at this. Okay, everything good? Okay, let me head over here. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and start doing some basic stuff. Now, the premise of this little episode is that he thinks he's in trouble with Goey, and he is freaking out. He's scheming, he's pondering. So, first thing I'm gonna figure out is like, okay, so if he's scheming, okay, so he's scheming. You're probably gonna see more like a proper pose. His head is probably gonna be tilted down a little bit. And again, I'm using this. Now he's going to be thinking. Okay. And again, this is just like a rough sketch. It's not that crazy. And he's gonna be like, You can see that pose right there. So you're gonna see the thumb. And it's okay to look at references, guys. Whoever, if anybody tells you artists, you know, like bad artists you reference, you know, they don't know what they're talking about. Every professional artist that I know uses reference. We all use it. That's how you get something more accurate. With him, let me see. Because of how stubby these characters are, it's a little harder to determine certain things. So in this case, if this arm is to move forward, my mass is going to move in this direction instead of being out here. And that will push this over here. There we go. So that makes a little more sense. Then from there, if this was up here, it's probably moved down here. Alright, so the nose will be down here. Gotta make sure trying to keep those eyes the same. Now keep in mind, because he's tilting down, it's gonna look a little bit different. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right there. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and move those eyebrows down a little bit. And again, this just kind of gives me like a base of what I'm doing. So just trying to get that rough pose out. That's pretty much what I'm working on today. It's okay if it doesn't look perfect. We're just trying to get those key poses out of the way. So this is his thinking. I'm gonna write a note right here. Think. Alright, that's just to kind of get that core pose set up there. Okay, make sure I go back to the original. Make sure I don't miss anything particular. Any of the details, not too much. Mainly probably just a skirt. Now, he's not really wearing a skirt. It's just part of the universe, like their uniform. They're just kind of pantsless. It's going to be looking down. And again, part of it is trying to continue that continuity. And then right here, since he's tilting forward, you might see a little bit more of his ear. Now, because of how bulky the characters are, you're not going to see as much movement on the ears. So you're going to see the ears move forward or backwards. They're mainly going to be like a solid shape. Speaking of my kitty, there's my kitty in the background. Hey, butthead. What you doing? Got to keep an eye on them. One of them almost destroyed one of my orchids the other day. I almost had a brand new cat purse. Don't get me wrong, I love my cats, but man, like, don't destroy my plants. I love them. I love my plants. So it's like a fine little balance in my house. Loving my cats. So I secure a lot of my plants. It's just, there's only so much I can secure them. Okay, so this is pose one. Like, this is him scheming. And then let's go ahead and try another pose. Thinking. Okay. Let's try yet another pose. Another one would be him like, maybe like him doing this, like the palm. But in this case, you're going to see more of a bend on the knees. So always figure out what the kidney being of the body is doing. So, because obviously they're in trouble. So, let me go ahead and select this. Can I not move this? I'm going to move it this way. So he's more moved now, more like 3/4 to the side. So it's the kidney beans, or the little sack, as I like to call it. And then you're going to have, there's the leg. Even though you're just animating, you're just kind of creating basic shapes for your characters, it's always good to understand the anatomy and what the mass is doing. This is gonna cover most of the body here. You're gonna see right here. In this case, it's gonna be turned more 3/4. So since it's more 3/4, the eyes are not gonna be straightforward. If the eyes look like this in the front view, a really good rule that I like to use is to slice that into third. And if I want to go further, it will make it look like it's further and further to the side. It's a stupid trick, but it works so well. So, but that's just me. That's one of those like few things that, you know, has worked for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab that hairline. One, two, and make sure that I try to keep as many of those lines as possible. Right now I'm just doing like a temporary facial features, just like a placeholder, and then I'll build those out. So this is going to be a massive file when I'm done, unfortunately. But that's okay, though. The more poses I make, the more streamlined this comes, and the more down the line we can pump things out. Okay. What's going to end up happening here, again, this is going to be moved up. Because this mask, so if this is a sleeve and my arm moves forward, my sleeve is going to move forward with it. So that's why this thing is not rigid. It's part of the costume. Maybe this section here might be, just think of like 1980s shoulder pads, but for the rest of the body or the rest of the structure will move. Okay, so right here I'm thinking cylinders. So we're gonna see the paw coming out. Yeah, no, Hobbes gonna look awfully chunky. Right here, you're going to see the knife hand. And again, I'll clean these out just so I can kind of have a good setup. But right now, I'm just trying to get these poses down for the time being. So right now, he just needs to be leaning forward. And a lot of this is understanding masses. If you understand how your mass works and where things are in relation to each other, this will be a lot easier to do. Okay, and then from there, there's the knife hand, there's the little batch right there. I always try to keep tracks of those for continuity purposes. And then, of course, you have the thing on his face. Make sure that I don't forget that in the other one as well. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, and they start at the top of his eyes. And it goes right through his eyes and then down to his cheek. Okay, so make sure you try to keep those little continuity points there. And then clean whenever possible. Okay, so we got that right there. And then he also has like technically they're like his paws. So he's got like white paws, but it looks like he's wearing boots and gloves. Okay, there we go, right there. So that looks a little bit better. Oh, that'd be good right there. All right. And then the next one, what I can do is I want to put him like his arms are freaking out. So what I could do is I can grab this one. I'm going to call this knife hand. And then I'm going to grab this. I'm going to duplicate this one. White arms. And again, I'm just trying to get some good range of poses here. So think of like someone that's like really panicked. Like, what are we supposed to do? You know, think at that level. Like he's freaking out. And sure, that seems a little bit low. Because technically I put his shoulder by his rib cage. So really overdo that pose. Again, this is just me getting some poses down, some key poses. This is not like... I don't know. It's supposed to be kind of like an oh my god pose. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. Oh my god, ah! And maybe like the legs need to be exaggerated a little bit more. You could be using like boom, and that's where it went. It's gonna be kind of hard over here. So there's spine, there's the beam. And this will get fixed as I go through. And pull out my reference. Yeah, they're a little too chunky. That's what I thought. Yeah, that's the other thing to it's still something you have to keep in mind is the volume. You want to make sure like your characters are not getting too thin or too thick for continuity purposes. There we go. I'm gonna put panicked. Panic OMG. I'm pretty sure that's how you spell knife. If I don't judge me. I am an art major, not a English major. English. Okay. So far I got him standing normal. Got him thinking. Got him doing knife hand. Got him doing panic. That'd be another good pose for that. Okay, what else could I use for this? And again, keep in mind, guys, I have to clean these poses. They're nowhere. I'm just kind of just roughing them out right now. I'm gonna do one where he's pointing, like dramatic pointing. He's like, "Don't you dare!" So for that, I want a more dramatic line of action. So you might see him turn forward a little bit more, but I really want to emphasize that crunch over here. Like he's pointing towards Scully. You. So you gotta make sure you look at your finger. Maybe one where he looks like he's frustrated. So he's got a sassy lady stance. It's okay though. So even this guy gotta be a little bit careful. And then, obviously, if you ever seen someone with their mad, their features tend to be more jagged, more jaded. So I'm gonna put a stronger pose right here, and then I'm gonna lead this line of action here with the head turn this way. And again, I gotta make sure that his head stays constant. Okay, so it's a little rough. That's okay, these are going to be cleaned out. So let's turn this off a little bit so I can see the mess that I have to clean. One, two. In this case, I was trying to make sure that this little paws stay in line, and then a really dramatic I have to move this back a little bit. Just going to clean this down here. Alright, cool. Just kind of get those like basic poses done in there. Make sure you can't see that. Can't see it there. Okay, let's go clean this out over here. So you get a really dramatic pose right there, which is good. And again, once we do these, anytime you're doing an animation, or in this case, it's going to be practically a glorified animatic. The first time you're doing it, the assets to build that assets, it takes a long time. So that's why I usually tell people at the beginning it's normally slow. And as the process keeps advancing, you're going to start getting more assets. It's going to be a lot easier to do certain things. So right now, let's get rid of that. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. And here I can even over-exaggerate. It's like you. It was you. Like really manic looking stuff. And keep in mind, don't be afraid to just kind of exaggerate certain things. That's the fun part of animation. Just you know, animating, character design, just doing a lot of this like really crazy stuff. Now just gotta make sure that I don't get too much off model. That's the one thing I do have to be careful. So let me go back over here and let me open my original Captain Hobbes. Always go back to your reference. Let me sure you keep it consistent. And there's my reference. That's my original one. Actually, it's a little too big. Give me a second. Shrink this down. So here is the original reference. So I'm going to have that as my other monitor. Okay. And then I'm going to have one of these stills open. Normalize. Let me just pick one. Just basic one. So that way... See, and this is why you want to have... Let me show you guys. Even though this is hand-drawn instead of being in pieces, you're already starting to see a little bit of distortion on the face, but this angle is a little bit kind of higher. There's a little bit of some like size distortion, so I'm trying to keep it consistent. So he's gone from like 2 1/4 heads up to about 2 1/2 heads up. But again, this is going to be a process. Once we go to full animation, it's a little bit different. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep it consistent. Alright, so let's go ahead and start going into some of these other things. Give me a second, guys. I got so many monitors. All the monitors. Oh no, what a first world country problem to have. I have too many monitors and good internet. Or it's actually our internet here in the States is shit. Okay, so let's go ahead and start cleaning some of this up. Okay, by the way, I'm going to call this point. Okay. Create a new one. I'm going to drop the opacity of this. And for right now, I'm just going to switch to the other. And then let's go ahead and get this right. Alright, make sure... So right here we wouldn't be able to see these fingers back here, so let's undo that. There we go. Looks a lot better. It said reference is your best friend. Alright, now what I'm telling you here is that the hands here, this forearm is in the foreground right here. The elbow sticks out, and then this mass is right behind it. So that's where you're seeing some of these little lip areas right here. So always keep track of your masses, even if you're doing a cartoon character. That is incredibly important to keep track of that. Otherwise your character just doesn't look like... It looks like they're just really flat. Unless that's what you're going for, like a Billy and Mandy look or Fairy Odd Parents look. And even then you still get a sense of dimension because you'll have like a front arm and then a back arm. So yes. Don't mind that. That's just spammers calling me. I don't know why. There must be... You know what I think it is? Because it's election time. Holy crap, am I getting a lot of spam phone calls these days. Yep, so ignore that. I'm ignoring you, phone. You don't exist. And unfortunately, pressing that heart button on the side still hurts my thumb. So it's dead to me for the time being. Okay, cool beans. So that should give me that. And then... Let's do that right there. And then he does have a belt. Kind of belts down. Then right here, we're only going to see part of this. We're not even going to see the badge. Because the badge is part of the right side of the chest. You have the giant hand going right in front of him. Sorry, my hair keeps getting on my face. Oh my god, it itches. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do that right there, and make sure. And a lot of these I'm gonna measure. Yeah, so I want to make sure they're around the same spot. And then right here, this is gonna be filled. That's just solid black. And then for the face, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create 2 additional layers. So the eyes, if he's looking down, alright, so that's right there. Alright. And he does have like a shadow. Okay. Oh, by the way, the base body gets the nose. The nose does not move. So there's the eyes right there. Let's do that right there. And then let's create another layer that's going to be mouth. Okay. In this case, the only other detail that will go in the body is the little facial feature here. It goes from the top of the eyes and it looks like a Hershey's kiss. And then it goes through the middle of the eyes, come down to almost the other side of the pupil, and it comes back down. So it's those little things that you just kind of want to keep in mind for consistency purposes. Okay. So now if I look at this, I have, there's the base body, there's the eyes, and there's the mouth. And that is fine for right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn off that sketch. Alright. Are there continuity issues? Some. Let's see if we can fix this. Alright. It's not a lot, it's just a unique angle. And that's the fun part about you learning. You have to learn how to draw a character. Like literally you have to learn it, especially when you're in production. I'm still learning how to draw Hobbes, making sure I keep it consistent. This right here, I think this is what it is. So technically, there we go. That looks a little bit better. Gotta be careful not to give him too much ear, because then he'll look like Ratchet and Clank. You sure you know what layer you're on? Oh my god, for Pete's sake. And sometimes you'll learn when you draw some of these characters, they will look great in one angle, and you draw them in a different angle, you're like, huh. Think of like American Dad. He's always in like 3/4 views, and it's not until like he turns forward where like his nose looks like a giant like circle, and it looks so weird. Let me see. And again, this is just my first pass. Yep. Wrong layer. God, if I had $1 for like every time. Okay. So this doesn't look great, but once I add color, it will look a lot better. Alright, so this is going to be new folder. Think. Call this think. And always label your layers, kids. Oh my god, for the love of Pete, please do. Okay, so now let's move over to the next one. Alright. So we're down the opacity. Notice I'm keeping these consistent. Like if you go to the original character design, you have 1, 2, 3 peaks, and you want to make sure internally there's 2 peaks. If you start adding too many peaks in there, it gets a lot harder to do. So we'll try to keep your hairstyles to like a few points. The more curls and the more stuff your character has, the more stuff you have to track, the more expensive it becomes to produce. That's why you see an anime unless it's like the big budget movie, you're not gonna see like every strand of hair will be animated, and it won't have tritones on it. Tritones is when you have like the base color, and then you see like the shadow, and then you see a highlight. So Attack on Titans, for example, is a good example of tritone. That looks kind of limp. So someone's doing knife hand. There we go. Oops. Make sure to keep that size consistent. These cats got some pretty chunky limbs. Alright, this stops halfway through his forearm. Again, right here, we're gonna go down. Seeing his chest. Once we start doing more, I've been looking. I know that Clip Studio Pro has an animation feature on it. I would like to play with it. I've not had a chance to do so at this moment. I hate to sound terrible, but it's so true. I definitely want to experiment with it. I can't remember the last time I animated. I am so rusty. I feel rusty just in the drawing because I'm doing more technical papers these days, or more technical writing. So let me go right there. Okay, let's do eyes. By the way, let me draw the nose. If I forget. 3/4 nose. Okay, and then let's go do the eyes. The eyes is going to be 3/4. The eyebrows right here is going to be a little thinner. There we go, that looks pretty good. Okay, let me go back to the main body. starts up here, comes halfway through these eyes, comes back down, goes up to here, halfway through his eyes, and it comes back down. Again, for continuity purposes. As for the mouth, normally if this is where this portion of your lips would be, I'm going to go a little bit further back. There we go. This gives you might see a little bit top of his teeth. There we go. So he's talking, he's doing that knife hand thing. Obviously he's exaggerating, normally he's down here, but in animation you want to exaggerate. It's like, and he's got little chunky limbs, so it's kind of hard not to do this. I'm not digging the legs though. I'm not gonna lie to you. These legs look atrocious. Yeah, look at them funky legs. Oh, wrong layer. Story of my life. Wrong layer. Make sure I missed no messages. Alright, so let me head over here. Alright. Woo! Yeah, so right here, there's the feet. Now, in this case, he's kind of... Okay, so this one right here kind of bothers me because if he's bending forward... So technically, I'll be having something more like this. So I just gotta make sure I keep track of these things are... Again, ain't gonna be perfect, but definitely one of these legs are more chunkier than the others. Yeah, close enough. God, that looks terrible. Okay. So I'm trying to keep it consistent with the original style. There you go. Sort of. Yeah, that definitely looks a lot better. Sort of. It's this bend here. This bend looks really weird. He's got like what I like to call floating knee syndrome. Where like... Where it's like, it looks like the knee is halfway through the shin. So it's something that I can fix later because I wasn't going to be here all day. Okay, like I said, I'm just trying to get the main key poses done. Oh, man, I'm always so tired. Ah, I'm getting old. Ah! No, but legit, I'm enough. I usually get up at like a 4. Today I got up a little later than normal. I get up at 6. Ooh, sleeping in, 6 o'clock. Yeah. Anna's a rebel with a cause. Okay. So far we got original pose, second pose, third pose, and then now we're gonna go to the fourth pose, like a panic, like, oh my god. Okay, and again, these are just the base poses, and then later on I can build the rest of the template. You just gotta get something down on paper. In this case, digital paper. This case is okay if his hair looks a little messy. Let's show a little bit back here. There we go, right there. There you go, that gives me the head. Okay, now right here we have the shoulder pads. So what we're gonna see is mainly part of the interior. And I also gotta make sure that there is a point of connection down here. Because now we're also gonna see all the way down to almost the armpit, which is really weird. Okay, let's go over here. There we go. So it looks like it's connected. Right there's part of his paws. Right there. His hands are flailing everywhere. Ah, what's going on? Ah! Okay, right here, let's keep going. There we go. I just remembered today's a friend of mine's birthday. Gotta send him some Steam money. That's what I do. I don't even... I tell you, I hate going shopping for people's gifts. As I gotten older, I've enjoyed the joy of instant gift cards for friends. And most of my friends are, you know, they game like I do. So I'm just like, you get some Steam money. You get some Steam money. My sister asked her, what do you want? She's like, Amazon's. Like, you get some Amazon. You know? Because, you know, it's unless it's something really unique. Like, I sent her a box of some of my plants. I had a bunch of clippings for her. So unless it's something like that, it is such a pain in the ass to grab something, ship it. And by the way, keep in mind that shipping these days is ridiculously expensive. So you're talking like at least $20 just for like a basic item to send them in like 2 or 3 day shipping. And I don't even know how much crates you're going to get. Now that like all this transportation costs are starting to go up. It's gonna get really cray-cray here soon enough. Okay, so that takes care of that. Then we got the nose. There we go, so that takes care of that right there. Let's go ahead and create a new layer. It's going to be the eyes. Okay, for this, we're really going to make his eyes pretty buggy. And keep in mind, this is 3/4. So when I go to 3/4 over here, it's not going to be quite 3/4. It's going to be an oval. Okay. Okay. And he is in total panic mode. The little teardrops coming off from him. Ah! 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 Anxiety! Ah! Ay, Dios mío! Ah! I'm gonna exaggerate that mouth a little bit more. In this case, I can't see it here, but with the color, I'm gonna add the little extra over here. So yeah, so that's gonna be his mouth. So for right now, I'm gonna erase this for right now because I showed this to my friend. They'll be like, Anna, what the hell is that? So yeah. Okay, so that's that post right there. So not too bad. And again, this is just me building the template for these poses. And I'll probably eventually go back in and play around with these legs Okay, so this is, I call this panic. Call this knife. Alright, there we go. Oh my god, what has happened? Okay, let's get this next pose. This one I'm actually kind of looking forward to. This one looks like a lot of fun. This takes me back to like my more caricature days kind of deal. Alright. Delicious flavored water. So I'm trying to get back to eating pretty clean, so I'm trying to get away from the soda again. I have a weakness for Coke Zero. I'm gonna get away from that, so now I'm also weeding out, like, I used to do like stevia. I'm trying to wean that off. I'm going back to honey. So yes, I'm going back to more of my healthy eating. Like, so you can see, you know, some of you guys who've seen me for years, like, I used to be a very large woman. I used to be like 300, you know, close to 300 pounds. I am now at the cuff of like 200. Like, I'm there like 201, 203. It just depends on the day. I do drink a lot of water throughout the whole day, so I wonder how much of it is actually like water weight. But I have reached as low as 199 the last couple months. I kind of got off the wagon a little bit. Oh, the music stopped. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Okay, let's turn that off. Let's hop over here. Okay, EDM. That's the one that was like crazy, like video game music, I think. Ooh, sounds cute. Okay. So go over here. Do that right there. And then this one, I really want to emphasize that shoulder. His nose got like a little... like he's annoyed. I don't know if I could do this though. Can I? Yeah, I can. Nah, that doesn't look good. So I'm just going to keep it to that basic. Okay. And right here, let's do that. Alright, so over there. And over there. And I gotta be careful because I like to kind of give that lip right there. Even though it's supposed to be like, have you ever seen military uniforms when they like they have like a stress point? It kind of looks like a bell. So that's where I'm getting that from. And then, like I said, when someone's really upset, their mannerisms get really like jagged. So that's where this is coming in right here. At least that's what I'm doing right now. Okay. I'm gonna keep that. Ugh, what is wrong with my liner? There you go. It's got more of that dramatic pose going on there. Again, it ain't pretty, but it's mine. we go. Got that right there, and I can start working on those eyes. Alright. Alright, there we go. Just made that right there. Again, I gotta make sure that I stay. But this is a little hard because we're doing more very exaggerated poses. So it gets a little skewed right here because you're distorting so much. I'm gonna even put like he gets the super annoyed. I'm so annoyed at you kind of thing. There we go, and then let's go do a mouth. This I can change and erase and remove. Going from here. Again, some of these I might have to go back in and change up a little bit. And then the body, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do the willing finger, like, ooh. He's so annoyed, like super annoyed. Okay. So now let's go ahead, let's do one more folder. Oops. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's save that. Okay, now this is the original reference folder. And what I'm going to do is, let me unlock. Let me push this way up. Now what I want to do here is just borrow some of the colors. So I'm going to go to the base here, create a new layer. Okay, I'm going to call this base. Always label your stuff, kids. And you have a couple things you could do right here. Now I personally like to color in like a blue because I can seal the gaps a little bit better, but I also switch around. For this, I'm going to switch to this pen. There we go. Go right there. So you can see right there. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and fill that up again. Alright, cool. It's coming along. There we go. So we got right there, we got the body. Okay, not too bad. Not the best pose on the planet. But, you know, it's getting done. Again, we're a team of three. We're the voice actors, we're the art crew, the writing crew, the composition crew, the audio crew. So, deal with it. I'm gonna borrow some of this color again. Okay, and I need this for the belt. Okay. So, and I'm also gonna need this for the shoulder pads. Notice that for the body, I'm just keeping it nice and solid. Can I do some duotones? Absolutely. Am I going to? No. Why? Because I don't wanna. It's too much work. That's it. I'm just trying to pump as much content as I can, as fast as I can. I'm gonna borrow some of this, please. Yes, please. Okay, so let's go ahead and go from there. Oh, let me check my thing. Boop. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so over here, let's go back. Did I hit the wrong one? I totally hit the wrong button. Not sure when that happens. For the love of Pete. Okay. Now again, once you're done kind of laying out the base color, always still go back and try a couple different colors. Sometimes you'll see some of the gaps in one tone, and it's not until you switch it to the light tone that you don't get to see all the little gaps all over the place. So it's always a good idea to just like double check yourself. God, my thumb is still hurting. It's still not as bad as it was a couple weeks ago. So, but it still hurts like a lot. I have been taking better care. I'm dying to go back to my Alien Writer book. But unfortunately, that is pencil on paper. And here I can kind of just like glide smoothly and I'll be okay. But like when paper and pencil, there's like numbers here. So it's one of those things where I kind of have to be really mindful of this. And at this point, I'm not worried about the eyes for the main reason that the eyes will be in their own layer once I'm done building the core base. And again, these are just test poses. And then once my friends approve them, this is pretty much the workflow. They see something, they like something, I go, uh-huh, and then I just make it. Okay, is this sealed? No, not by any means. Yeah, making a mess. Okay. Here we go. There we go. So I'm slowly filling this in. Now I have to go in and do cleanups. Fluff. That's okay though. Let's shrink that pen brush down, please. Again, I'm drawing this as fast as I can. Over here, try out this color. Just doing some cleanups there. Alright, and always try to get as tight as you can on these. Let's go over there. Let's do that there. And oh. There we go. Got that going. What am I doing? Why am I filling that up? Anna, work smarter, not harder. Derp 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 derp. Ah, Lord. Lord help me. Okay, so far not too bad. Clearly there's some cleanups I need to do, but that's okay. This will have to do for right now. And let me borrow that gray, please, for his mane. There we go. There. Okay, and then once that is done, what I also have to do is I turn that off and then I turn on the white. And see, once I turn on the white, then I can see some of the other gaps in here. That's what I usually tell people when you're doing coloring, try to make sure you're using multiple colors, because sometimes you miss some of these little things here. Clean that out. And there, and then let's borrow this right here. Okay, let's go ahead and cut over here. There we go. So that looks nice and clean. Also, let me head over here to the line art. There we go. I'll get that nice, clean, and good to go. There we go. So now that we have that, let me turn that off. Turn this back on. I'm gonna borrow the eye color. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create yet another layer. And again, I'll work like this for a little bit until I can get the sign nice and solid. Right now it looks like caca, but give me a second. Here we go. Nice. Go right there, and it's going to turn that off. Turn this on. Alright, so let's head over here. Let's turn this back on. Okay, so this is where I have to be careful here, because he's got like the detail here between the eyes, and you don't kind of want it to go all the way overlap over that. There we go. Yes, Hobbes wears eyeshadows like Ursula from The Little Mermaid. He admits that in the past he's been a nasty. Such a good song. Ursula, man, it's so funny. Like, when I tell people that Ursula used to be based on a drag queen, they're like, no. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? Did you not see her design? It screams drag queen. That's why I love her so much. You know, slay, she put the word on slave queen before it was a thing. There we go. So, there you go. So that's the first pose. So we went to the second pose, and then right here I'm going to go back and I'm going to redo the same thing. What I probably need to do, let me create a new layer up here. As I'm sampling some of these colors, let me turn this guy back on. Let me turn this up for a moment. Okay, let me sample some of these colors. So let me do the red, the yellow, the white. I mean, the white doesn't really make much sense. The green, the eyeshadow, body. And I'm gonna put next to this, I'm gonna put B for body. And then over here, H for hair. So I know which one is which. There we go. So that should keep me from having to turn layer on, turn it back on. Again, as you continue to go through your workflow, you start getting a lot faster at stuff, guys. You'll figure your stuff out. I'm telling you. I usually tell folks don't get frustrated. It takes a while to figure all this stuff out. Okay, so I'm gonna head over here, create a new layer, and I'm gonna start with, I don't know why I always start with the red. Oh yeah. There we go. And then fill that out. And over here. I'm sorry I'm not saying much, but at this point it's just me going through, clean out the poses, filling them out, putting them back in. And then at the end I'll do an export so I can test them out, see what they look like. Yeah, so it is a process. Okay. Then over here. Let's go ahead and fill that up. Now imagine doing this back in the day with like actual paint on cellulose. I can't even. Like, I mean, kudos to those old school animators, man. Like they were like truly the unsung heroes of my childhood. They're sitting there breathing chemicals, drawing stuff on pencil, man, like crazy. Okay, so now from here, I can now borrow the main body gray. See how that just kind of expedited my workflow, just having that there. Work smarter, not harder, kids. That is the theme of the day. That should be your theme for life, period. You know, don't overdo things if you don't need to. Like, for reals. Okay, there we go. Oh, wrong color. Yeah, and Scully, before I forget, I'll show you guys the Scully sheets, the one that I made. He looks really cute. He's still very childish. Obviously, for this one, I kind of chunked him out a little bit. Because I had to do production stuff. But he turned out really cute. I need to work on his poses. And he's technically going to be facing towards Hobbes. So it's going to be him and Hobbes talking to each other. There you go. It takes care of that. Then I need the white. Whoops. Yep. There we go. Zoom in. I want to make sure. Again, I'm going to have some errors because I'm going really freaking fast. You know, and the beauty of these days is that you don't need to go to a publishing house or a studio for people to see your stuff. You can self-publish yourself. The problem with that too is that when you have everybody self-publishing, it actually cheapens out the process a little bit. Why it is so hard to get paid as an animator, and I've also heard it too from, you know, in professional settings. Like, why should I pay you to do this when my kid can do this on their iPhone? You know, he did it with his like clickety, and I'm like, wow, can you hear me back there, man? Like, no one talks like that. But yeah, people, you know, especially as now we keep automating like graphic tools, low code web, and all kinds of stuff. It's like people think like it devalues the actual original skill and what it took. So you start ending up with a lot of folks that can do some of the base stuff, but the few people that can still code and do certain things by hand, they become a specialty. So it's like a double-edged sword. You just kind of have to stick with it. There we go. Alright, cool beans. There we go. So he's coming out okay. Sweet. Let's go back to the body. Alright, let's head over here. Boop. I do need to find the paint for his paws. This is a specific paint that I use. I do not have that pink on me. Okay, so for that, I need to head over here, and I need to borrow the Captain Hobbes pose, and I need to borrow this. Yes, there we go. I need to borrow that color. Before I forget, I'm gonna head up here, added. There we go, and I can add it to my body now. Because I'm going to use that a little bit later in a few other poses. There we go. Cool. Takes care of that. And let's go ahead and move on to the hair. There you go. Let's go ahead and do that. And then let's go ahead and grab another layer. It's going to be just for the eyes. Needs to do some cleanup right there. Alright, let's do that right there. And definitely do some massive cleanup. Look at that. Oh, that gunk. There we go. And right here, we got that right there. Just gonna do an actual thick line. There we go. And then now from here, I can now go back to the other color. Let's see, it's over there. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. It's coming along great. Do that right there. And now let's move over to the mouth. I'm so tired. Ugh, Lord help me. There we go. I should have his mouth right there. Okay, cool beans. Alright, so once again, just like before, let's turn off the green. See if I have any gaps. I do have a few gaps. You just want to make sure these are filled, because if you're ever in a scene that requires like maybe a complex background that has, like, let's say, God forbid, like neon colors, those colors would go right through the body and it will break the sense that this character is a solid character. Granted, like, people know this is a 2D generated image, but you don't want to give them, you don't want to break what is called the I guess the fourth wall would be correct. I don't know, but you don't want to like disengage your audience, because now they can see right through your puppet or through your design. There we go. So that's nice and solid right there. All right, cool beans. So now let's move on to the next one. Okay, and for this one, believe it or not, I can actually go down to this one right here to see, because the body's already partially drawn. So again, you work smart. Honestly. I could duplicate it. Duplicate layer. Let me see if I can get away with this. Okay, let's see how much I can get away with. Okay. There's still a lot of cleanup I got to do, but not too bad though. Sometimes you can kind of bullshit your way through. Excuse the language, but sometimes you can. You can BS your way through. There we go. And then let's go ahead and borrow this right here. Alright, let's go ahead and do this right here. Okay, cool beans. Let's head over here. And I want to erase the hands yet because I'm going to need some of the colors that are right there. However, I'm going to borrow this yellow right there. You go right here. And then you go right down here. And I'm just going to make the brush bigger. For sanity purposes. Go. Oops. There we go. Put that right there, and then some of this right here. And don't worry, I'll go back in. I'll clean this out right here. And this is certain colors that we'll like to borrow. Okay. Go. Right there. Now let me head over here. Boop. Ah, wrong pen. God, I hate that. The nice solid pen, not this half-ass pen. There we go. Alright, cool. Go. We're gonna do this. Sweet. Go. That's pretty good, pretty solid. I do need to borrow this color. Probably there. And let's go ahead and clean this out over here. And I also need to borrow this color over there. Over here. Do that right there. There we go. Cool, that's looking really nice. Very nice, very nice. Alright, so let's go ahead over here. And let's erase this. We no longer need this. I do need this color, so let's bring that back. Okay, so before I continue, let's make it another layer. This is going to be for the eyes. there. Then let's go ahead and borrow some of this color to here. Go. Got that panic look. Oh, what's going on? And then in his case, I'm gonna put this little sweat drops. Turn up this color there. There we go. I got that right there. And then let's move over to the mouth. In this case, we're going to see his tongue. And then what we should see back here is nothing but black. I guess I could put it back here. Okay, let's do that right there. Alright. So before I move forward, let's do my check. Let's see if there are any gaps in here. There's a few. Nothing too drastic though. It's a little bit right there. Right there. Always check for those gaps, guys. Always check for the gaps. And I know it doesn't seem like a big deal at the moment, but trust me, you don't want to have gaps. There we go. There's Hobbes freaking out. Okay, now let's move over to the last one. And then from here, let's start with some basics again. I know he looks a little bit more toonier than normal. Ay, Dios mío. Delicious. I may need to get a sticker on here to cover the CG logo. I need to get a pretty cool one. It's just, I want one that will last the wash. Actually, I might put a little Captain Hobbes sticker there. Okay, let's turn this back on. And turn the colors back on. How you doing, Meow Meow? Okay, you're destroying things? Got it. I'll get you later. Okay, let's go over there. Let's start with some base. Not quite sure what she's destroying back there, but she's definitely destroying something. What are you doing down there? Ugh. Goodness. Sorry. Hey, what's up, dude? How you been doing these days? You doing okay? Just me another day enjoying paradise. You know, just trying to get some stuff done. It's just doing some quick fills. Oh, definitely want to leave that open. It's right here. It's golden color. I need to clean out the line art there. And then head back over here. Oops, wrong layer. Oh man. Okay, takes care of that right there. And let's go ahead and select the body color. Alright. I've hosted you. You've hosted me. Like when I think hosting, I think of like web. So you gotta forgive me. That tells you the world that I dabble in. It's like hosting. It's like you don't host my websites. Terrible. Yeah, speaking of which, I gotta update my web pages so badly. It's that time of the year where, you know, contract comes up for renewal. You gotta be ready. You know, have the ramen noodle packs ready just in case you go to a thin month. It's actually not so bad. I'm always prepared for contract shifts. It can go really well or it can go really bad. It's never kind of like a happy transition, but hey, that's okay. That's the sandwich I'm willing to eat. It's been very good to me so far. Have a pretty good bumps in the road, but that's just part of being part of the workforce. It's never always going to be 100% good. At some point, someone's going to try to screw you over. And you just have to make do with the best that you can or leave. Nope, it's not COVID. I just need to take my allergy pill. Yeah, dude, so you may get more views. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Okay. Cool beans. I appreciate it. I said I just put like your channel in the background, even though I don't comment. I'm just trying to like give you a view. I just kind of I just do this for fun. I don't really care to get, I don't really care to have 1 million viewers. I seen what happened when women get like 1 million viewers, man. It's terrible the harassment they go through. So for right now, I just kind of rather be a little low key, peon. Nobody knows. At least nobody knows like the stuff that I worked on, which is I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. Poop. So a friend of mine went to he went to a convention in Maryland. You would laugh at this. I can't show you the picture on the stream, but please remind me. He told me, "And I'm done with conventions." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, I paid $70 to walk into a convention, and the most interesting that I saw was a picture of thick Charizard. It was literally Charizard from behind with like a thick booty, and I'm like, "Yo!" And it was a towel. It was a towel. I was like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Yeah, that was the most interesting part." It's like, that's sad that that's the most interesting part at a comic book convention, but here we are. It's like we're scraping like the bottom of the barrel these days. So I saw one the other day here in Texas where it was like cars and comics, and I'm like, good lord, do they know the demographic or what? It's like, let's do cars and comics. Man, love Martin, because the only thing was missing was bazongas. Car, comics, bazongas, beer, and guns. And it would have been like the ultimate pack Texas nerd-ish experience. But they can't say bazongas because that's you can't say that these days. Bazongas, balloons, watermelons, calendars, missiles. Can't say any of that. Nope. No siree. No, you can't. Okay. So that looks pretty solid. I do need to head over here and take care of this. Okay, so from there, let's move over to the eyes. And let me borrow this color right here. There we go. The eyes right there. Whoop. This be the eyes right there. And then let me borrow this grayish purple. There we go. That's right there. Sweet. Let's do that right there. So that's Hobbes super pissed. So what if it's COVID? Honestly, it doesn't really change a thing because I mainly work from home, except for 1 day a week. So it really doesn't change much, which I'm very fortunate I have that opportunity. But still, yeah. If it is COVID, then, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I had 3 jabs in me. I done everything that I can, officer. You know, I'm, yeah, it is what it is. There we go. So that right there. Let's head over here. I gotta make that a little more solid right there in the mouth. There we go. There we go. So let's go over here to the eyes. Same thing goes with that. Oops. Make that more solid in the eyes. There we go. There we go. Now we got a pretty angry Hobbes, like super angry. Then let's make sure we check this upon the weight. That way, any gaps, always check for gaps, guys. You're like, oh, they're not there, and then you turn a layer off, and bam, gaps, 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 all the gaps, all the mother flupping gaps. You get a gap, you get a gap, you get a gap. Oh, what is this? That's a big old gap up there. Boop. God, I had a lot of gaps in this one. There we go. Do that right there. Oops. Okay. So with that, I started originally with, let's go ahead. So this is the original post you guys saw me work on a couple weeks ago. From there, I went ahead and I started a brand new pose again, because this is going to be for a brand new set for a second episode. So that's the second pose, third pose, and of course this started always with like a rough sketch. I always start with a rough sketch, and then I kind of work my way up on that. And right now it's going to be divided in layers, because again, that's just pretty much how work, so that way I can build different eye sets, mouth sets, so on and so forth. Because the way this is going to be done, again, I'm handing this to my friends who he will be animating. He is not an animator. He doesn't have a degree in animation. He really wants to try it. And you know what? I ain't going to stop him, but I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible for him. Animating as a character rig is a huge learning curve. And it's a little bit harder than people think, because it's not just listening to the voice, it's thinking about what the performance is going to do. So it's not just like, oh, the person's looking over there, are the eyes moving, are the eyes getting bigger, smaller, what kind of mouth kind of goes with that expression. So you're actually thinking more of a performance. So it's usually what I tell people, like if they get a chance to go check the movie Encanto that came out recently. They did a gorgeous job with the expressions, especially with the one girl, the main girl. I can't remember her name right now, because she. Hold on. Did this not save? Fuck. Did this destroy my master file? Good thing I have backups. Always back up your stuff, kids, because you never know when you mess up your files. Yeah, I messed up my master file. That's okay, though. I can download it from my Google Drive. So I need to do a save as. And then this is going to be Hobbes set to right. There we go. That's the great part about technology. As long as you know how to back up your stuff, then you're fine. Delete. There we go. And I could just re-download my master file. Okay, so now with this, I'm going to export single layer PNG. And I'm going to call this thinking. Think. It's going to be the first one. And then... Question is, where did it save it? Oh, man. Did I not pay attention? I probably did not. Okay, hold on. I hate that. PNG. Okay, no, I want to go... Yeah, just put it out here. Think. This gives me a PNG. There we go. And then from there, I'm going to swap it to this one. File, export, single layer, PNG. Think. And I'm going to call it this one knife hand. It's supposed to be a knife hand, but you know, it's as good as it's going to get. Okay. And that is Hobbes freaking the math out. File, export, single layer, PNG. Like I said, always have backups. What I'm going to call this, panic. And from here. Oh, yep, I need to click one more time. Okay, cool. PNG. And then this one's going to be point. This reminds me of that old song. Now that we found love, what are we gonna do with this? This reminds me of that a little bit. Oh yeah, I went there. I just dated myself. I don't care. Zero fluffs to give, baby. Zero fluffs to give. Okay. So with that, let me show you guys what came out of that. So with that, I have a beautiful PNG. Let me go ahead and export it. Or move it over here. So let's make it smaller. And see, it gives him like some of the main key poses. So when my friend needs to animate, all he has to do is swap between them. And then I'm going to give him like different eyes. So it's going to be like mouth open, mouth closed, eye looking up, eye looking to the left, eye looking up. So he's going to have like a good collection of assets that he'll just be able to switch around between these poses. Yeah, so that's pretty much for tonight, guys. The only thing I have to do is just kind of re-download that file I jacked up by accident. Okay, and it happens. It's okay. This is why you give yourself backups, kids. You know, make sure you back up your stuff. But as of now, oh, let me show you guys Scully. I built Scully. I didn't do it when I was streaming. I was not feeling well. And sometimes you notice that I don't have a constant schedule because some days I just work a ridiculously long day. It's just ridiculously long. So this is Scully right here. So super cute. He's got his normal eyes. And if you guys don't remember what Scully looks like, let me go back to his main one. So this is his main pose that you guys have seen all over Astrocats. So this is me just kind of refining those characters a little bit. So here I kind of chunked him out a little bit. Obviously he's a little leaner, but he's also overextended. When someone overextends, they kind of tend to lean out a little bit. But yeah, so I'm just slowly kind of evolving these characters. You know, obviously we'll get better as we continue through. This is just kind of like just us producing until we can get enough traction. Right now, obviously, we have a couple people that follow us, which is great, and we appreciate those people that do. While we're doing these sessions, I know for a little while things got stagnant, but, you know, we are all adults. We had stuff that happened. You know, I even had to move to a different state, so that took me, like, a few months to recover, and then I had a couple other life events that went down. So I will produce a lot of work, and you can ask my team members. For like 6 months I will work like nonstop, and then suddenly I had to stop because I had to do something that it was important. So for right now, you know, I'm just trying to take advantage. So now that I have more of a time to do certain things. So I'm just trying to take advantage and produce as much as possible. One of our team members will be retiring from his job, so we're super stoked from him. And then he's getting ready to do a career shift. So it's one of those things that, it's part of being an adult. And the cool thing about this is we're not working for a studio. We're doing this for our own. We're just learning a lot, and we're just kind of doing as much as we can with like literally no budget. We're doing this out of like our own time and efforts, and we just want to see what we can do together. But yeah, no, but thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it, and like I said, I'll keep doing these. I already have the next species of aliens that I want to do to flesh out. So you'll probably see sometime this week, and I'll come back up. If I'm not working on that other sketch that I started, I'll probably be working on some Astrocats stuff, and I definitely got a game. I know I have to finish Days Gone. By the way, God of War, the Naruto fighting game, and Nickelodeon's Battle Royale is part of PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 2 Plus for this month. So if you have kids, or you don't have kids, you got friends you'd like to drink and just, BS with, I'm pretty sure the Nickelodeon Battle Royale is going to be a big hit. So, yeah, so you know, it's part of the bundle this month. Go get it. I said it's like they plan accordingly. The new kids are going to be out of school. They're like, how do you keep them out of trouble? Here's a video game. You guys get to beat the crap out of each other. So it was perfect. Okay? So with that, guys, I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.